Which Disney stars barely survived their shows? Were the talented tweens really as squeaky clean as their on-screen characters? And most importantly, who was hooking up behind the scenes? From Miley to Britney, Disney stars are known for their headline-making scandals. But what was really going on with the iconic studio's biggest stars? Behind-the-scenes bullying. On the Disney hit Jessie, Debbie Ryan and Sky Jackson seemed close as can be. Debbie starred as the loving nanny to a group of children, and Sky played the baby of the family. The show was full of adorable moments between the two, but the reality wasn't so sweet. While things started off friendly, things took a turn when Sky made allegations that Debbie wasn't nice to her on set and even physically pushed her and shoved her. Sky even had a secret Twitter where she spilled all the tea. Debbie denied the young star's allegations, claiming that it was Sky who was rude to her. She also accused Sky's parents of being behind the rumors. The whole situation turned into a total she said, and it seemed like their feud still hasn't been resolved. Both actors have unfollowed each other, so it doesn't seem like they'll be making up anytime soon. If this is true, it's a total bummer, especially since Debbie was so much older and a producer on the show. We hope that she wasn't actually using her position to push around her young co-stars. Talk about an abuse of power. Co-star catfights. Miley Cyrus has made plenty of headlines in her career, but the drama started back in the early days of Hannah Montana. It turns out the pop princess did not get along with her on-screen bestie, Emily Osment. While Hannah and Lily were total goals, the actresses themselves were constantly dealing with jealousy and stress. Emily even admitted to ad-libbing the final line of Hannah Montana because she wanted to have the last word.
I love you so much.
I know! It was a petty move, but we have to admit, it was also a pretty strong statement. Miley later wrote about the experience, saying, "The show felt real to me, and I wanted my relationship with Lily to feel real too. I knew it didn't have to. Show business is show business, but I was disappointed. There were times when I didn't think we could ever be friends. We just couldn't figure out how to get along." Sounds like the characters' on-screen friendship put too much pressure on these real-life teens who struggled to live up to their fictional connection. While the fact is a total bummer, it seems like the two have since made up, often posting sweet things about each other on social media. Looks like there's hope for our favorite on-screen friends after all. But Emily wasn't the only Disney star Miley was feuding with. Disney queens Miley and Selena Gomez also had a notoriously rocky relationship. It started when the girls both dated cutie-turned-hunk Nick Jonas, which caused some tension between the pair, and things only got worse from there. When Selena and BFF Demi Lovato released an adorable video together, Miley couldn't let her have her moment. Instead, she and her pal Mandy made a video of their own, making fun of Demi and Selena. Eagle-eyed fans have also noticed that Miley stopped hanging out with pal Justin Bieber while he was dating Selena, but once the couple broke up, he started spending time with Miley again. Could there be a connection? The feud continued onto Miley's Bangers tour, where she threw out a cardboard cutout of Selena while singing a shady song called F You. We think that pretty much says it all. And when Selena beat Miley out for a Much Music award, Miley claimed the competition was rigged. But despite all the drama, the pair seem to have decided to grow up and put the past behind them. They've been spotted being friendly on social media, and they stick up for one another when the media tries to trash them. Now that's some girl power. Suspicious absence. Remember when Lizzie McGuire wrapped up its run and co-stars Lelaine was missing from the last few episodes? The show claimed that her character Miranda was on a family vacation, and everyone thought the star was just off pursuing a solo career. But not long after, the actress was arrested for possession of substances. She pled guilty and entered a program, but we're pretty sure Disney was not pleased with the scandal. Family fighting. On Hannah Montana, the Stewart family always had each other's backs, but things were different when the cameras stopped rolling, and Disney dad Billy Ray Cyrus claimed that the show was to blame for his achy breaky heart. Although they've since reconciled, Billy Ray Cyrus filed for divorce from his wife Tish, and his relationship with Miley grew strained. This was all happening during the Hannah Montana heyday, and Billy says that the show was the cause of all his family drama. Billy Ray is adamant that he never made a dime off his daughter's career, but despite that, he came under constant fire for his wild behavior. He claimed that Miley's people were using him as a scapegoat for his daughter's crazy antics, but they kept him far away from her, leaving him powerless to help. When asked if the show was the culprit for the Cyrus family's troubles, the actor said, "It destroyed my family. I'll tell you right now, the damn show destroyed my family. I'd take it back in a second. For my family to be here and just be everybody okay, safe and sound and happy and normal would have been fantastic. Heck yeah, I'd erase it all in a second if I could." Wow, those are some strong words. But it seems like there might be some truth to it. Since the show ended, Billy Ray and Tish have reconciled, and they seem to have a much stronger relationship with Miley. We're definitely glad that things worked out for this famous fam. On-set stress. Things were tough for Billy Ray, but they were also hard for his teenage daughter. Miley has talked openly about how hard her time on Hannah Montana really was. She claims that the constant obsession with her hair, makeup, and wardrobe gave her body dysmorphia and left her convinced that she was ugly. She got so used to seeing herself as a perfect blonde pop star that when she took off the costumes and wigs, she didn't know who she was or what she was supposed to look like. Poor Miley, being a teenager is hard enough, and it sounds like her time on the show only made it tougher. She also said that the show was exhausting and she almost couldn't keep up. Apparently, Disney employees forced her to chug coffee so that she would appear awake and energetic on screen, and her mom was so worried about her daughter's seasonal depression that she considered buying special lights to help her power through. Luckily, Miley seems to have found some balance since those troubled times. She's definitely used these past few years to find herself and her voice, and she's absolutely killing it. Peer pressure. Remember those school assemblies about the dangers of peer pressure? Well, Joe Jonas knows all about that. The musician opened up about his first time smoking weed at age 18, and that's not all. He also threw a few of his fellow Disney kids under the bus. Joe claimed that the first time he ever got high was when he was hanging out with Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato, and that they pressured him into trying it. It definitely goes against their super polished image, but we guess teens will be teens, no matter how famous. After Joe pointed the finger, Miley decided she wasn't having his attitude, so she clapped back, saying, "If you want to smoke weed, you're gonna smoke weed. There's nothing that two little girls are gonna get you to do that you don't want to do." Ouch, shots fired. Guess those Disney kids weren't so squeaky clean after all. Stars were pitted against each other. Competition in show business is always fierce, but it almost destroyed the stars of Shake It Up. Co-stars Bella Thorne and Zendaya were constantly pitted against each other, both on screen and off. Bella opened up about the difficult start to their relationship, explaining that it was a constant question of who was a bigger star, and the competition made it almost impossible for the two to get along. Luckily, the story has a happy ending. After season 1, the two stars had a heart-to-heart and realized that they weren't the enemy. Since then, they've been total besties, turning up to each other's premieres and championing their friendship on social media. We love that they put their friendship first and didn't let anyone stand in the way of their shared success. Not so sweet life. Dylan and Cole Sprouse gave up almost their entire childhood to the Disney Channel, but they ended on less than friendly terms. After Sweet Life on Deck, the stars took a break from the Disney machine, but they almost made a return to their iconic roles. Apparently, the talented twins approached Disney with an idea for a Sweet Life reboot, but Disney shut them down and told them the idea was no good. Then, a year later, Disney came back to the twins with a new idea, which was really just the ones the twins initially pitched. When Disney refused to let the twins come on as producers, they turned down the project, and they weren't quiet about their annoyance. The pair also regularly pokes fun at their Disney days, throwing shade and joking about how they never got roped into having a Disney music career. Even though they've got some beef with the studio, we love that they're never afraid to laugh at themselves. Disney was a major part of our childhoods, but it's easy to forget that the actors we were watching were just kids themselves. That's what makes these secrets so shocking. We're glad that the stars are speaking out now and making sure that these problems are fixed, and we're living for all the tea they're spilling. Did any of these secrets leave you stunned? Who do you think had the hardest time? Most importantly, which cute Disney kid had the most impressive glow up? We want to know what you think, so let us know in the comments.